What if I told you that growing fashion brands like Shein, Zara, Fashion Nova, and even Forever 21 are taking a toll on society? And not just society's mental statuses, but also the physical harm that it causes to the surrounding environment. Now that that's settled in, let's face it, fast fashion holds no kind of useful superiority to our planet. And in fact, fast fashion is the exact opposite of what we should be moving towards today. And fast fashion should potentially be banned. Of course, this proposal sounds crazy, considering these sites have become trendy and socially acceptable over the years. However, let me take you into a deep dive of fast fashion and how it affects our world environmentally and socially as well. Some may say that fast fashion is good, considering how convenient and affordable it is to purchase, and you even get to be in style with these trendy and custom sites. Another reason that some may say that fast fashion is a relief is because of how easy it is to have in your hands, hence fast fashion. However, there are many reasons that bombard these ideas with the true consequences that fast fashion leads to our society and our environment. It all began with the invention of the sewing machine. The invention of the sewing machine led to clothing being made ready to go and fast, which led to an overproduction of clothing items. This became more popular and normalized during World War II when mass-produced clothing became more well known. Now let's take a look at the first biggest factor in today's deep dive, which is the impact that fast fashion has on our environmental footprint. In fact, according to healthyhuman.com, fast fashion takes up a tenth of the world's carbon emissions. This is comparable to a pair of jeans taking up as much carbon as a car would going 80 miles per hour. This actually does go into our freshwater systems as well, in which it contaminates the water, leaving it unsafe to drink. This is because of the toxic dyes and chemicals that go into the freshwater systems from the clothing items. In fact, even plants have a part to play in this issue, as cotton, one of the most used materials in clothing, is becoming overproduced, especially in fast fashion, which just goes to waste in the end because of the never-ending cycle that it goes through. The cycle consists of purchasing the clothing, making the toxic dyes and chemicals, and finally just ending back up into the landfill because of how cheap the quality is, becoming worn in just a little amount of time. With that being said, I suppose that you do get what you pay for. Now, on the other side of things, let's take a look at how fast fashion affects our society and the detrimental effects it has on the employees that work within the fast fashion industries. This was an issue that became widely known on the platform of TikTok, in which the brand of Shein allegedly used child labor laws, or just child labor, in their factories. In fact, children, along with adults, endure the poor working conditions. According to WRI.org, 40 million workers endure poor working conditions within these fast fashion industries especially. The countries that this is most seen in is Argentina, Brazil, and China, although there are many more countries that have this issue, and these countries do not follow the safety protocols that the industries and countries that themselves hold today. In fact, many workers actually end up in deathbeds from the amount of the toxic fumes that they breathe in on a daily basis. According to clothingcoachsf.org, fast fashion's material is terrible. This is because when you wear the clothing items, they can become worn out in as little as just a few months. And when we as humans see something worn or torn, we think to throw it away because it has no other use to us, which just is wasteful. In fact, there are some brands that actually contribute to this issue in which they are willing to make organizations to fix this issue. Companies like H&M have an organization in which they will take your worn out clothing items and recycle them into new ones. But this is proved that only 0.1% of people actually contribute to this organization, which leaves it unuseful. At least it's the thought that counts. Now, as we wrap up, I hope that you all take into account the consequences of shopping within fast fashion, as the issues environmentally, socially, and logistically are sadly known to go tucked away and unseen within the fashion industries. With that being said, next time you go to your checkout list on Forever 21, I hope that you can consider a more beneficial and strategical way of purchasing your clothing items, because I hope that you take into consideration the effects that it has on our environment and the impact that it has on our future generations and world to come. Thank you.